Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Parts Talk. Today I'm reacting to another EV video here on YouTube. It's entitled Why Every Fifth Electric Car Owner Returns to Gasoline. The link to this video will be in the description box below. But before we begin, for my listeners on my podcast, you can watch this full episode on my YouTube channel. And please check out my ebook, The Parts Manager Guide, Proven Strategies Used to Maximize Sales and Process Improvement, exclusively on Amazon. Remember to hit that like button for more content and subscribe so you will be notified when I drop a new episode. It will only take you 1.5 seconds to do so. A friendly reminder that I may be the only program that takes you beyond the sales department consistently, of course. Others focus on specifically on cars, their performances, looks, style, features, and DIY videos from mechanics. Before we begin, again, let me say fair use everyone. So let's get into this video right here.
According to the latest research, 1 in 5 electric vehicle owners in the United States exchange their eco-friendly cars for gasoline-powered vehicles. This trend is most common in the state of California, which is the leader in the U.S. in the adoption of electric vehicles. What's going on? Does the sunny American state lack charging stations? The problem is not lack, rather the abundance of it. So many companies are involved in the distribution of electricity that motorists have to experience the inconvenience of such competition. Different tariffs, various mobile apps, different charging connectors, and different charging speeds depending on the type of station.
And remember, if you look at the number of gas stations out there, right, they're all compatible with every single cars that is on the market. But if you look at this carefully, and he just said, the different connections for all these various types of electric vehicles are out there. It is not a uniform one size fits all. So that is also another problem that is happening with electric car owners as we speak.
This makes choosing a gas station a real quest, which sooner or later starts to cause irritation. Not every driver has the time and desire to understand the nuances, buy adapters for charging, be tied to a mobile application. After all, the phone can be discharged along with the car. The question frequently asked would be, what is the problem in charging a car in your own garage or in the parking lot near your home or office?
Because all the mechanisms has to be bought, especially if you're going to install a charger at your home. It has to be compatible with the car that you're purchasing. Of course, it comes directly from the manufacturer.
Well, firstly, electric cars are mostly abandoned by those who don't have their own garage. In addition, standard home outlets in the States provide only 120 volts, and this is absolutely not enough to charge a car in a couple of hours. With this voltage, it may take at least a day to fully charge a 60 kilowatt-hour battery, and this capacity is available on almost all electric vehicles. According to statistics, 70% of those who switched back to gasoline experienced problems with the speed of charging at home.
Yeah, exactly. Because with a gas station you drive up, sometimes it takes less than 5 minutes to pump fuel in your car, tap that credit card, debit card, pay cash, whatever you want, and then you're on your way. I've seen a number of charging stations when I pass them. The passenger, the owner, sits inside the car while the car is charging, and they're sitting there for like 30-45 minutes. That's a lot of time.
Secondly, even in such an advanced state as California, public charging stations are not installed everywhere. You would be lucky to have a fast charging station of a suitable type near your home or work, providing up to 80% of the charge in 30 to 40 minutes.
And imagine driving around looking for a charging station that is compatible with the car that you're driving as well. So take that into consideration.
Slow charging stations giving a voltage of 120 or 240 volts are easier to find so far. By the way, Tesla, which is at the forefront of electric vehicles, has solved this problem quite successfully. The company's engineers have developed Tesla supercharger fast charging stations that charge even the largest Tesla Model S battery 90 kilowatt hours in just 40 minutes. Nevertheless, the battery is also killed by such an express charge at a fairly high speed. There is one more nuance. It should be noted that there are many such stations in American as well as Western European cities. But in Moscow, for instance, there is only one station. And on the highways between cities,
Exactly. Only one station in Moscow. And you have to remember, Tesla is a high growth company. They're moving so fast. So, mostly to please their stockholders and their shareholders, of course, but they're trying to play catch up with the necessary infrastructure to maintain and sustain customer expectations. And I speak about that a lot here on my channel. Building customer relationships, maintaining customer, increasing customer growth, and maintaining customer relationship management.
Cities, Tesla superchargers are even less common, which significantly reduces the likelihood of using electric vehicles for long trips. To bring it into perspective, filling a full tank of Toyota Corolla with gasoline, which is enough for 700 kilometers of driving on the highway, takes only 3 minutes, and you can refuel at literally every corner.
Yep, I mentioned that earlier, and I said five. I was putting it a little bit of stretch on it because you need time to walk into the gas station, pick up a few convenience items, of course, and this will enable you to enjoy that shopping experience while pumping gas. 3 minutes, the average, and they have it broken down here.
To charge a Tesla for 350 kilometers, you will have to find a Tesla supercharger and spend about an hour charging. In the age of super speeds, this is prohibitively long.
1 hour. So with governments moving, countries moving to have the entire world electrified by 2035, most of them, some says 2025, some goes 2030, but we're putting it at 2035. These are the inconveniences that we have to look forward to.
And some more statistics. It was published by the Institute for Transportation Research at the University of California, based on a survey of 14,000 electric vehicle owners in the United States. Those who decided to switch from electric vehicles to gasoline lived in small families, so they had fewer cars per family. In other words, they did not have the opportunity to get behind the wheel of a gasoline car for an unscheduled trip, for example, out of town when necessary. Instead, they had to depend on an outlet. Further, they were younger, had a lower income, predominantly rented housing with only a few living in their own home. That is, they were actually deprived of the opportunity to charge an electric car from their outlet. The study also found that Tesla owners were less likely to switch back to gas than owners of other electric vehicles, such as the Fiat 500e. This is not surprising when you consider that Tesla still invests a lot of money in ultra-fast charging stations.
And they're putting out all the infrastructures, all the stops to ensure that their customers are happy, but it's still not working out because they are the only company moving that fast. And you have to remember, with a lot of these new EV companies coming in, you have Xpeng, you have Neo, you have Lucid Motors, to name a few. There are so many, Polestar, there are so many out there. And then there are the traditional manufacturers who have opted into this new craze of providing electric vehicles, of course. But let me continue.
And people with higher incomes can afford such an electric car, for whom Tesla is not the only car in the family. What do we get? It cannot be denied that the future lies with green, zero-emission vehicles, in particular electric vehicles, and we are moving pretty quickly in this direction. But we cannot ignore the fact that we are still at the beginning of the journey on issues such as charging times and the availability of fast charging stations. But don't forget that only 10 years ago, modern internet speeds seemed fantastic to us.
But you see, governments and politicians, they get up and they make all these decisions without looking at the necessary infrastructure and the research and development that goes into a lot of these things. Now, most of these new EV companies, they don't have dealerships in every town or densely populated areas, unlike the traditional car companies that are going into this thing. And this is my opinion, and my opinion only. It's not a professional advice that I'm giving everyone, but it's just based on my own observation. I wouldn't advise anyone to purchase an electric car unless it's from one of our traditional manufacturers. Those have been about for more than 30, 40, 50 years, so to speak. So your Hondas, your Toyotas, your GMs, your Nissans, right? Those are the ones that if something goes wrong, they're within a telephone call away that you can have your problem solved. And I did an episode of the Nissan Leaf owner who wanted a battery. and he went at length in trying to get the battery, even though nothing was wrong with his car. They wanted him or forcing him to purchase a brand new car. But he stood his ground and said, "Hey, the car is not giving any problem right now. Why would I want to switch?" And reluctantly, and after a while, they supplied him with a brand new battery. But at least that support system was there. Okay. And one thing for sure, from a parts manager's perspective, it is going to be a nightmare for parts managers when these new EV companies come on the scene. And I can tell you, the logistics in place, setting up your binning system, location system, your purchasing. What we do is, let me give you a little synopsis. Whenever a new car comes on the market, even a full model change, you have something that is called a new parts master listing, a NPML, new parts master listing. Yes, and we go through that listing and we look, and then there are the suggested orders on those systems. In that system itself, it's like a giant spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet, and you go in and you look at the manufacturer's recommendations and suggestions, and also tips from the engineers. What are the most likely things that will be available to be serviced or to be changed within a specific period of time? Okay, and then you have, on the service side, mechanics are trained into how these cars will actually work, and then special service tools are also ordered in order to repair and work on a lot of these cars. But nevertheless, right, I'm not sure how these new EV companies will operate, but there's already a blueprint and a platform established within the traditional manufacturers. I'm not taking away anything from the new EV companies. However, hopefully they will have people with enough experience going into these companies and enjoy and putting out their experiences, enable for these individuals to showcase their talent and help to build these companies and let them know exactly what the customer expectations are. Okay, so that was the end of the video, but I don't know. What do you think? Start the discussion below in the comment section. And remember to grab a copy of my book, The Parts Manager Guide, on Amazon. Smash that like button on your way out. So until next time.